hockey fans, are you ready to brave the wild? With me, your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Ohgren. Brave the Wild is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps. I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. We are also available on THPN, the Hockey Podcast Network. I thank Dylan and Kyle once and always for having us on board that awesome page. So really appreciate you so much coming in out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Thank you again, once and always, for downloading and listening to the show. It's a massive pleasure to be back on board with you once again today, as this will be, you could call the season finale of the regularly scheduled episodes. It's not like I'm going to go on hiatus for months and months and months and months, but, it is going to be more sporadic now, obviously with the regular season coming to a close tonight versus the Seattle Kraken. And the fact that obviously the Minnesota Wild are out of the postseason, and long cleanups are starting this weekend, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So you get the idea. It's kind of a, if you've been around this show for many years, or even a couple of years, you probably get it. It's something that's nothing new per se. But, that's kind of the case when it comes to Brave the Wild this time of year. Sporadic, maybe like a Saturday night, a Sunday afternoon, and this and that. Obviously, probably would like to keep up with the postseason a bit because the NHL playoffs are awesome. It sucks not being in them, but it's kind of like what you expect. Looks like Jeff Carter's retiring from hockey, so that's how that goes. But at the end of the day, the Minnesota Wild this past week, I guess it was 3 games because we didn't actually play Seattle yet, so there's that. The Minnesota Wild go 2-1, losing to Vegas 7-2, 6-2 win over the Sharks, yay, but some good news there, and a 3-1 win over a Kings team that didn't really play hard. I don't know why. That's really weird. And then a season finale tonight at 6, a little bit earlier, I guess, fan appreciation night at XL Energy Center, April the 18th. As the Minnesota Wild will finish the regular season, I guess above 500. Yeah, above 500, maybe with 40 wins, which is weird, actually, considering what kind of season it's been. But, of course, out of the playoffs. So, yep, there's that. When it comes to Marc Andre Fleury, une année de plus. Une année de plus. One more year. Marc Fleury. No, Marc Fleury is one more year. Une année de plus. Yeah, you can guess that's Francais. For one more year, Marc Andre Fleury, $2.5 million, returning to the Minnesota Wild with yeah, but what'd you expect? He's, he probably wants to finish his career here, I would think. Let's trade him to the Rangers or something. Maybe he wouldn't mind that too much, but I don't know. Somebody's going to the Rangers, maybe Zuccarello or something at some point. President's Trophy winning New York Rangers. This will be like a playoff preview a bit. Some of the seedings are unofficial in the Western Conference, but generally speaking, there's a pretty good idea where everybody's lined up. Eastern Conference is completely set. Why? It's good that the Eastern Conference is set. Why the West isn't, it's annoying a little bit, but everybody played 82 games in the East, but in the West, we got one more game. We got to play those Kraken tonight, but I suppose the schedulers originally thought this might have been a pivotal game in the postseason seeding, possibly, or, sneaking into the playoffs for that final wild card spot. But the teams are all in. Now it's just a matter of where they're matching up, but there's a pretty good idea where they're going to be, most likely, but who knows with the way the Kings are playing, but I suppose they'd stay right where they are, so that's what make it a little bit easier at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm going to briefly look at the games a little bit. That'll be kind of segment number 1. Talk about some of the positives, you could say, generally speaking, about Liam Ohgren, a member of the Minnesota Wild, and will he be a member of the Minnesota Wild next year? And what we need to do and such. Second segment, playoff preview. Third segment, what do you think it is? Fan interazione. Okay, let's interazione into this thing. Whatever I'm trying to say. April the 12th, Friday against the Vegas Golden Knights in T-Mobile Arena. T-Mobile, huh? 7-2 win by the Dallas Stars. Vegas Golden Knights. It felt like a Dallas Stars game. It felt like a Dallas Stars game. But Marat Huznadinov did score his first goal of his career. That's awesome. Liam Ohgren looks pretty fast. He looks like he belongs in the NHL. Well, what do you think of that, ladies and gentlemen? It's showtime! Hope it's true. That would be great. It would be great if Liam Ohgren is in the NHL. I will go with Ohgren from here on. I've heard Ohgren, but once you hear Brock Faber saying Ogie, it's over. It's Liam Ohgren. I wouldn't think Brock Faber would mess up how to say his name, so it's Ogie. Yeah, whatever you want to call him. Ryan Hartman with his 20th goal of the year. Yay. And then his extension starts next year. Isn't that just, yeah, it just makes you feel wonderful. But at least you have Merit Huznadinov. Again, Faber keeps racking up the assists, now 37 on the season. Marcus Johansson with his 19th. Yeah, some people might have thought it might have been the opposite, like Marcus Johansson with 37 assists and Faber with 19. You know, Faber has a nice solid 30-point year, you know, or whatever, 30 or 25. You know, that's pretty good. Nice. Nice job, rookie. No, Faber's having a little bit more of a special season than that at 46 points, as you had. Now he had multiple assists since then. 39 total assists, 7 goals, 46 points. We'll see if he can get 4 points tonight to get to the big 5-0 as a rookie. That'd be pretty freaking awesome. I mean, how many people? Anybody out there? Raise your hand. How many of you out there saw Brock Faber getting 30 points this year? Okay, sure. Okay, a couple of you. How many of you saw 40? All right, I don't see any hands. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, oh, you over at the, yeah, sure. Give me a, yeah, right. You're saying it now. Hindsight is 50-50, right? Or it's, hindsight is 20-20. Yeah, thinking about 50 points, I guess. So Marco Rossi, how many of you saw him getting 40 points? I have my hand up, yeah. He got it. Well, he got to 40. Nice rookie year. I'm not jumping out of my chair about it, but it's okay. It's all right. It's a nice rookie year. Very solid. Way the heck better than what we saw before with that, 19 games and 1 assist, stuff like that. That was kind of sad and depressing and all that. So incredibly encouraging when you think about Ohgren, already 2 points in 3 games. He got both of them against the Sharks. Yes, it was against the Sharks, but it's still an NHL game. Still an NHL game. It still counts. So we can kind of, nudge about that all we want. Otherwise, the Vegas Golden Knights put the Wild pretty much right about where we thought they were, I guess. They are who we thought they were. Yeah, I know, Dennis Green, but they are who we thought they were. 7-2. Vegas not messing around, crushing the Wild and all that. Chandler Stevenson with 4 assists. Jack Eichel with a goal and an assist. There's even some rumors, a conversation about the Wild trying to get Jack Eichel. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. That sounds like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound realistic. Doesn't sound like anything we're really in any position to do and all that. It just doesn't. If it happens, it happens. I just don't see it happening. That's all. 7-2 loss to the Knights. Let's go. But Huznadinov, a goal, finally. So good for him. Obviously, the numbers aren't too, they don't jump out at you when it comes to Huznadinov. 15 games, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 total points, and -3 on the season, coming literally out of Moscow, not like a different country with, I can't even say that one, Novokuznetsk. I think I got it, sort of, very terribly. Kirill Kaprizov, of course, with 95 points on the year, 45 goals, 50 assists. Will he get to 100? 5 points tonight as the Wild win 10-0 over the Seattle Kraken. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, I'll get back to it. I'm just looking at certain players right now, and my mind is wandering. Obviously, again, there's a pretty good. There's the Marc Andre Fleury signing does not put anything in stone necessarily as to what's going to happen. Most people are assuming that Gustavsson is gone, but not necessarily. You just might come back with the 2 veterans. Yeah, we'll see. It's kind of a wait and see. It kind of is. Jesper Wallstedt, nice season, obviously, in Iowa and all that, and he looks like he's probably ready for the NHL. It just kind of, I don't know, and it depends how much really you want to put on Marc Andre Fleury. He took a $1 million pay cut, dang it. Come on. Well, so we're saving $1 million there, I guess. Otherwise, you get rid of all 3.5, but, well, it's down to 2.5 now with the 1 year remaining. It is a last hurrah, farewell tour type of deal. I mean, he's not going to sign another contract after this season, right? This upcoming season. In fact, I'd be flat out shocked if that happened. Filip Gustavsson, yeah, he's getting paid pretty handsomely for the most part, but at the same time, it's not, like franchise killer money. $3.75 million, and it's 2 years remaining after this season, after tonight. So it's basically 2 years remaining. So that's how that goes. 6.25 tied into the goalies at the moment. Yes, Gustafsson is definitely tradable. It's not like, he's making $8 million a year or something. Then they'd be like, good luck, we're stuck. That type of thing. So, as it was a massive raise compared to what he was making. Wasn't he making like under $1 million? So, and I do believe Wallstedt would be making under $1 million with the entry-level contract. Why are they showing him? Yeah, 9.25. Okay. Then he's a restricted free agent after next season. And Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, so he's already becoming a restricted free agent every next year. It's interesting. So it depends on how well he plays and all that. So hopefully he doesn't play himself off the team. No, he won't. It's not going to be that expensive. Even if he does have a great season, I think the Wild would try to keep him, especially if he's a franchise goalie forever. So I'm just talking stupid. I apologize. Yeah, I always like to. I'm obsessed with cap friendly. Can you tell? I'm constantly staring at it, especially when I'm doing the show. This and that. So, yeah, let's get to the Sharks game first here. Liam Ohgren, again, like I said, looks like a nice NHL player. Got his first assist fairly early, a second assist in the John Merrill goal. Again, basically winning a battle, getting the puck to Merrill, who put the puck on net, and Chrisum basically kind of directed it into the net for his third goal of the season. I gave Chrisum kind of a hard time, particularly during the Vegas game. Like, what the hell is up with this guy? And it's like, I don't know, but other people are saying, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't the Wild keep him, especially as a third pair? Right now he's a two pair, but I don't know. I got to think there's going to be some changes where hopefully somebody like Chrisum can be on the third pair and you have somebody else higher. But again, who knows? A lot of the rookies are pretty, the guys in Iowa are pretty raw still. So there's that. Unfortunately, that's the hard part. McBain train. Ugh, Jack McBain. Oh, yeah, so there it is. It's over. Yeah, they saw some people kind of sad, emotional, but in Arizona. But I think they're going to get a new team, it sounds like. So, yeah, that sucks. We're actually getting relocation again in the NHL. Sorry, I'm a little... but, I mean, it's kind of like it's the season wrap-up. I mean, whatever. Yeah, so they're heading to Salt Lake. We talked about that on the last episode and a half or so. Yeah, I believe they beat Edmonton in the final game, right? So they're off to Salt Lake City, Utah. It is a done deal. As for the new name, we'll see. Who knows? It's going to be the Yeti. I wouldn't mind that one at all, actually. Sorry. Liam Ohgren, again, did get his first goal. And ironically, Husnudinov also assisted on it. So it's kind of cool to see those guys all playing together. It's a pretty fast group because Husnudinov can definitely skate. And Liam Ohgren can definitely skate. So, and he's a bit of a power forward without being too tall, not too large, but he's over 6 foot at least. So he's not like 5'10", that type of thing. He's a little bit taller, and he does have game. I think Liam Ohgren is an NHL player, probably, hopefully, as soon as next year. Maybe he starts in the AHL, maybe, depending on the situation, but will ultimately play more than half of the year with the Minnesota Wild. That's my belief with Liam Ohgren, with what I've seen so far. Obviously, it's a tiny, tiny sample size, but there's something there. Liam Ohgren, there is something there, folks. It's no doubt. There's no doubt. There's something there, and I do think, again, he plays more than half of the year in the NHL next year and beyond, barring this and barring that, injuries and such. Liam Ohgren will play the rest of his career in the National Hockey League after next season. I just, I don't think there's a whole lot of doubt there at the end of the day. The Wild beat the Sharks pretty good. Obviously, 6-2, nice solid win. Wallstedt getting his second win of his career, stopping 27 of 29 shots and a save percentage of 93. Looking kind of like Iowa, like the Iowa Wallstedt, because kind of sort of playing against Iowa a little bit, but or against the AHL team. But no, they'd be a pretty good AHL team. Granlund has almost 60 points. That's Mikhail Granlund for the Minnesota Wild formerly, and now of the Sharks. Luke Cunnin, who's been off injured forever. He has played most of the games this year, but is I don't know. Looks just it's just sad. It's too bad. I thought he was going to be better. Just I'm not trying to trash on him. I just thought he was going to be better. It is sad. Yeah, a lot of Coyotes fans are emotional, so that sucks. But talk is, again, now that I'm distracted again, but I guess, again, whatever. I'm going to talk about the Sharks game. You know what I mean? I mean, they won, and Ohgren looks very good. So I made my point. Again, talk is that Arizona will be an expansion team again very soon. So they, it sucks and it's sad, but they're going to get another team, though. It sounds like, with when they get their arena situation resolved, and they'll have time to do that now, rather than the NHL putting up with, playing in a college arena for like 5 freaking years because they can't figure it out. So Arizona's coming back, I'm sure. Hopefully they'll retain the logo and everything. Hopefully. Because I don't know. Coyotes in Utah works. It works. But I'm guessing Utah/Salt Lake City, I'm sure it'll be Utah, is going to come up with their own name. Again, I still remember the Utah Grizzlies of the IHL. So there was that. The Utah Grizzlies, they were incredibly good. They were an expansion team the same year the Minnesota Moose were. And they won the Turner Cup, which is the championship trophy in the IHL, again, which no longer exists. It basically merged into the AHL and the ECHL. Certain teams went to the ECHL, certain teams went to the AHL. The Moose went to the AHL. The Grizzlies, I think they're a different franchise now. I mean, they have a different name. They left Utah, sadly, even though they were insanely good. And they're in the ECHL. So, like the Kalamazoo Wings, pretty sure they're the ECHL. So teams like that. They used to be the North Stars main affiliate back in the day. Yes, the Minnesota North Stars and the Kalamazoo Wings. That's kind of why they look like the North Stars. Kind of that green and black look. Again, the early 90s North Stars, the one that clearly had a different agenda than what we were hoping for. Yep, there they are. Wearing that black and green or green and black. Yep, sorry. So, yes, let's keep going. Again, Ohgren, insanely encouraging going forward. Da-da-da-da. And I'm getting nowhere here. Okay, Los Angeles Kings, a team that played like they were going nowhere. I don't know why. They played like a team that was out of the playoffs, but they're in the playoffs. So, come on. Crypto.com Arena. Yes, cryptocurrencies all over the place. Hartman with his 21st goal. Kirill the Thrill is for real with his 45th goal of the season. Rossi with his 40th point, his 439th and 40th point of the season. Faber with his 39th assist. Keeps chipping away. Kirill Kaprizov with his 50th assist on Hartman's goal. So Hartman with Kirill and Jules Eriksson, that kind of an interesting combination there. Hartman playing on the wing. Interesting. But with a bunch of injuries and shuffling around, it is what it is. And guys like Johansson that just kind of coast. I don't know. He's just kind of there, you know. He's just kind of part of the scenery. I don't know what the damn point is anymore. I don't think anybody knows what the point is. Ohgren with 4 shots on net. Unfortunately, no goals or assists in this one. No shots on net for Merit Huznatinov. As you know, sometimes he looks underwhelming out there, but again, he's young, he's new, blah blah blah. So, I mean, I'm going to be patient with him. I think there's definitely a future. He's not necessarily supposed to be a top 6 guy. Where I think Liam Ohgren. Definitely, yeah. I'm sure that's what they're hoping for with Liam Ohgren. He doesn't look like a third-line player. He looks like a second or top-line player. I wouldn't mind him being on the second power play unit next year. See if he makes the Minnesota Wild outright going into the season next year. Liam Ohgren, second power play unit right away. Absolutely. I think he should be maybe with a Rossi guy like that. Kaprizov and Boldy pretty much are the top dogs, not only the top line, but the top power play, line, so to speak. But with either Faber or whoever. But yeah, Faber should be on the top power play. I mean, it's just like enough with the Spurgeon experiment over the years. He had moments, obviously, but he shouldn't be on the power play if he's healthy again at this point in his career. Give other people a shot, obviously, especially Faber. There I go, bouncing all over the place. And Kresum needs to be on the power play unit as well. This, so on and so forth. Huznatinov should be on the top PK. I don't think there's any doubt. Like, you want a future with these guys? Put them in position to be successful. Put them into position to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Huznatinov should be in the power play, at least the second unit, and Ohgren should at least be in the second unit for the power play. I hope I said penalty kill with Huznatinov. Who knows? Maybe squeeze him into the penalty kill once in a while. See what happens. But Ohgren needs to be there all the time. Like, enough of the Hartman types, the Foligno types on the power play. Like, enough. Seriously. Ohgren. You know. I think I made my point again. I'd like to believe Kaprizov had a pretty good check on Fiala, which is kind of cool. But also, again, he mentioned he checked to see if he's okay, that kind of thing. So, entertaining, I suppose, conversation after the game. Kaprizov's English continues to get stronger and stronger, where he's become comfortable to a point he can just interact with the media now after the game, just like Marcus Foligno. Maybe not quite at the same level, but yeah, just like Marcus Foligno. Liam Ohgren, incredibly perfect English, perfect, just an accent. That's it. Like, his English is awesome. He's comfortable, and it's, I love him. I'm really happy to have him here. So I hope he exceeds expectations. That would be so cool to see. And I believe he can. I believe he absolutely can exceed expectations. So, because there was a time we saw just like a couple of weeks ago, even as recent as a couple of weeks, maybe a month plus ago, Liam Ohgren was kind of like a lottery ticket. Obviously, coming off of shoulder injury coming into the season, if I remember correctly, upper body injury basically. I'm pretty sure it was a shoulder, where it took a while for him to come back. Obviously, because shoulder injuries are kind of important no matter what sport you play. I mean, any sport, shoulders are crucial, right? Especially when you want to hold up that Stanley Cup. It's pretty important. Ask Doug Waite, poor guy. God, poor guy. 2006 Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes, of course. Yeah, but then looked solid, but it's like, again, smaller sample size this season. So it's like, with the Swedish Hockey League and all of that. So it's like you're hoping for the best. And I remember, didn't he have like a disappointing World Juniors? But then he comes to the U.S., doesn't do a whole lot in Iowa because he's getting used to the different sheet. Obviously it's a much smaller sheet compared to Europe there. And, he's getting used to it, getting comfortable with it already. And looks insanely, looks like he's comfortable and wants to, looks like he has a nice future in the NHL. So very, very encouraging when it comes to Liam Ohgren. How can you not be at the end of the day? So, yes, again, Marc Andre Fleury signed. What's the plan? Again, we've kind of discussed it ad nauseum back and forth. This was one of the scenarios, of course. Do you actually bring Fleury back one more year? Well, that's been answered. Yes, they bring Marc Andre Fleury back. Number 2 all time, just past Patrick Waugh. He is Martin Brodeur. Huh? Yeah, I should have figured it was Brodeur. How many wins did Ken Dryden have anyway? But 691. Jeez. So he's 130 behind Martin Brodeur. I think Brodeur's record is safe for now. We'll see. Martin Brodeur. Yeah, he played forever. Again, French-Canadian, just like the other one. So just like Fleury and Waugh. So French-Canadian goalies still rule the National Hockey League, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. Sacre bleu to you. Will Boldy get his 30th goal tonight? Hopefully. I'll say yes. Minnesota Wild will play the Seattle Kraken. They'll get Kraken with their pistachios. Their wonderful pistachios. I think that's what it is. This right here, I'm holding it right now. Wonderful pistachios. This should be one of the, brand slogans with the Seattle Kraken. Like, get Kraken. There we go. Hear that? Yeah. Delicious. Yep, there we go. There's your wonderful pistachios advertisement for the Seattle Kraken. I thought that the day... I know it's really silly, but why the heck not? Why the heck not? Don't they grow pistachios on the West Coast? Or am I just a complete fool? I don't know. Kind of Mediterranean climate, right? Anyhow, Seattle Kraken. We're going to get Kraken tonight. Yeah, I think I made my point, but it'll be in Xcel Energy Center. 6th place in the Pacific Division, 33, 35, 13, and absolutely out of the playoffs. I had them winning the Western Conference this year. They didn't win the Western Conference, no. Eli Tovinen undisclosed. Okay, so I guess he's not going to play. I guess not. Vince Dunn, missing the remainder of the season as of April 16th, so he could have had a hangnail and, just a couple of games there. So Seattle's 29th in goals, 8th in goals against. Power play 18th. Okay, let's say Seattle's 29th in goals, Minnesota's 21st. Seattle's 8th in goals, Minnesota's 18th. Sorry, I'm being rude here. Power play, Seattle 18th, Minnesota 12th. Penalty kill, penalty kill 17th, Minnesota 30th. You know what I mean? Like when I say put Huznadinov for the penalty kill, and all that. I mean, there's anything, you know what I mean? Anything, and I'm sure he's been there, obviously, but like regularly, like top, that type of thing. And try to figure out something. I mean, anything could be better than what they've been doing, I gotta say. So, but I mean, like in the next year and such, it's insanely frustrating when you put all that together. Obviously, because, the things change and such. Penalty kill unit. Yeah, Huznadinov isn't even on the penalty kill unit. He's on the second one, but I say put him on the first. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I thought he was because I know I've seen him out there, but it's like sporadic because second. He should be on the top power play unit. He should. penalty kill. I hope I didn't say power play. Yeah, but in the current power play unit, I'm good. Rossi, Ek, Kirill, Kaprizov, Boldy, Faber. So maybe instead of Rossi, Ohgren. But no. Leave him where he is. I guess Ohgren is on the second power play unit at the moment, and leave him right where he is. Yeah, got Ryan Harman, Johansson, Gaudreau, and Grissom. Grissom, sure. Okay, sure. Harman, Johansson, and Gaudreau. Ooh. Have you ever heard the phrase, we can do better? As for the top power play unit, I think that's a pretty good one going into next year. Hopefully you're off someday, but very soon. At least on the second power play unit with Ohgren, Johansson, Gaudreau. Johansson and Gaudreau. I mean, Hartman's got 20 goals, so at least there's something to hang your hat on there. Johansson and Gaudreau on a power play unit. What is this? The AHL? I mean, I'm sorry, but wow. Anyhow, penalty kill. Seattle 17th, Minnesota's 30th. Penalty minutes, Seattle 7th, Minnesota's 29th. And we are sweeping the season series at the moment, 3-0 on December the 10th. And 5-2 win versus Seattle on February 24th. I'm going to choke here. I'm choking on pistachios. Doggone it. Yeah, well, because I'm doing a show, I ate a pistachio and talking over it. That was smart, wasn't it? The Wild will beat Seattle in the season finale, which, whatever. So I guess we're probably going to pick 12th in the draft. More than likely, that's what's going to happen no matter what anyway. So hopefully the Wild take the right player. So that's kind of the hope going forward with that. The Minnesota Wild went 4-2 over the Seattle Kraken. Matt Boldy will get his 30th goal of the season. I did pick Kuznetsov to score his first goal, but he beat me to it against the Kings. So that or Golden Knights, sorry, their counterparts in the wild card playoffs and all that, or actually division leader for Vegas probably, but their counterparts there. Liam Ohgren will get his second goal tonight. Liam Ohgren will get 2 goals at the end of the way. And maybe even Kuznetsov, but I'll go with Boldy getting 30 for sure tonight. And Faber will hopefully inch closer to 50 points to try to get that Calder trophy, not the Calder Cup. And that would be wonderful. This idiot upstairs would sit still for 5 seconds. I'd be so happy. Anyhow, it's so annoying. Sorry, I'm ranting now. I don't like noise. Seattle has lost 4 in a row, and they're just like, screw this, I guess. Basically, they have, 6 goals in 4 games. And after shutting out the Utah Yetis 5-0. So we'll see. The Utah Yeti. Sasquatch. Okay, sorry. Sasquatch sound effects, right? Or Bigfoot sound effects. The Utah Bigfoot. No, it'd have to be, Yeti or Sasquatch sounds better than Bigfoot. It's the same thing, but it's like a better name. Yeah. Anyhow, yes. So probably no Zuccarello, Foligno, or Burchin, obviously. None of the last 2 especially. So, people. Anyhow, that's the case. I guess the Wild win their 40th game of the year. I don't know what to make of it other than I guess we're picking 12th in the draft. So with that, the Madonna Award winner for this episode is Liam Ohgren. Just like last week with Wallstedt, he shut out the Blackhawks. But no, it gives us hope for the future, and that's kind of what I'm looking for at this time of the year. Liam Ohgren gives me hope for the future. Liam Ohgren wins the Madonna Award. The James Shepherd Memorial goes to kind of the typical, I don't know, the typical, uninspired players, the Johanssons, the Gaudreaus, guys like that. I don't know. Gaudreau plays hard, Johansson doesn't, so it's just kind of a general, whatever. And the way the Wild got absolutely obliterated by Vegas was pretty depressing to watch as well. I was going to give it to Declan Grissom, but I thought he played a little better after that game. He definitely had it in the bag pretty much after that one, but no, things changed afterward. So with that said, we're going to take a quick break and look at the playoffs. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, segment number 2. Going to get into the playoffs, but first we're going to hear from DraftKings. We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. So, upcoming games tonight, Minnesota hosting the Kraken on the money line. The Minnesota Wild are minus 148. I agree with them being favored. Seattle's a plus 124. The Jets and Canucks, that's going to be possibly a second round matchup. We'll see. Or conference final, I guess. Who knows? Yeah, probably conference, I guess, with the way things are set up later, if that happens. Minus 130 for the hosting Jets over the plus 110 visiting Canucks. Calgary and San Jose, yuck. San Jose, gosh, the money lines on these are hilarious. Calgary's the host, minus 265. San Jose plus 215. Edmonton at Colorado. Again, another conference final possibly. Who knows? Colorado's the host. It is minus 175. Edmonton plus 145. Golden Knights and Ducks. This is a game where, say, the Golden Knights are hopefully going to secure for their sake the division leader spot, and I think they will, in my opinion. But anyhow, as for the bet, minus 380. They're the host of Anaheim, who is a plus 300. That's crazy. Kings, though similar, hosting the terrible Blackhawks. Minus 375 for the Kings, and the visiting Blackhawks plus 295. Carolina versus New York Islanders. Is this a series coming up? I'll talk about it in a second, but yeah, it might be, interestingly, a prequel here. That is a playoff. That is a playoff, yeah. So we'll talk about it, though. These could go, it's not that many. Okay, so it's game one versus, Carolina hosting the Islanders, minus 218. Islanders are plus 180. Boston and Toronto, these teams have faced off many times. Original 6 teams here. Minus 130 for the Bruins, and the visiting Toronto Maple Leafs plus 110. The Florida two-step here, the Florida battle. Yes, sir. Boy, oh boy, that's going to be fascinating. On Sunday, minus 62, Florida Panthers over the visiting Lightning plus 3. Not 300, plus 136. And the last one here, Rangers, the Capitals, the 1 versus the 8. The hosting Rangers, minus 238. The Washington Capitals have made the playoffs, I don't know how, plus 195. That's a miracle bet in itself when you think about that. So we're going to look at that and all that. So, yes. Sorry, somebody's... Yep. So that's just kind of how that goes at the end of the day. Going to be fun. Let's get into those actual matchups right now. And thank you so much, DraftKings. Appreciate you always. Continuing, though, where I need to be, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code THPN. New customers can bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age, varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. NHL and NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. So thank you so much, DraftKings. And now we will jump our butts right into the postseason conversation, or so I would have liked to have had that up. Yes, I did. So all the matchups and such. Atlantic Division. The division leaders are Florida, Boston, Toronto, Metropolitan. The division leaders are the Rangers, Carolina, and New York Islanders. The New York Rangers did get the President's Trophy with 114 points. Dallas Stars finished with 113, interestingly. The wild cards are Tampa and Washington. And, all the other teams missed, like Detroit and such. The Western Conference, Dallas Stars. Unfortunately, they're the Western Conference regular season champions, number 1 seed. Yes, they are. Central Division, Dallas, Winnipeg, Colorado. Good luck with any of those guys. Pacific Division, our division is tough, man. Pacific Division can be tough. Oh, they can be. And they won the Cup last year. So, when's the last time a Pacific Division had won the Cup? I think it was the LA Kings way back in 2014. I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, it had to have been. Because the Sharks haven't won a Cup or anything. Vancouver, number 1. Edmonton, number 2. Vegas, number 3. And then you have their wild cards of Nashville and Los Angeles. Nashville might have, depending on what happens tonight, Nashville might have more points than Vegas. If Vegas loses, Nashville finishes with 99 points. They're done with their regular season and are awaiting their opponent, which is, I believe, the Vancouver Canucks. Los Angeles Kings will more than likely be heading to Dallas. We'll see. But they're at 97 at the moment. I don't think they can catch, no, they can't catch Nashville. They cannot. They maybe can catch Vegas if Vegas flat out loses and LA flat out wins. Well, LA wins, basically. Yeah, they win. They get their 2 points. Then, 99 to 98 type of deal. My personal belief is that, I do believe there's a good chance both of them win and that Vegas will remain right where they are. And then that won't mess up where the current playoffs are more than likely standing at the moment. That'll probably stay as is because of that. Most of the other teams are kind of solidified where they're at. Like Winnipeg is 3 points ahead of Colorado. It's over. Colorado's third place. Nashville can't catch Colorado. So the only thing that could happen really is LA or Vegas flip-flopping, where Nashville is like technically the 7th seed, basically, and they will be playing the Vancouver Schmucks in the first round. So in the East is completely set. They've all played 82 games, all the way from Florida, all the way down to Columbus. Columbus with only 66 points. The Sharks have 47, and so there's 3 teams worse than Columbus. San Jose with only 47. They're, probably the lead to get the number 1 pick. Chicago is trying to get it again with only 51 points. And I'm with 57. So, and then Columbus would be the 4th. Arizona has played their last game in Arizona for this franchise. They'll be heading to Utah, but a pretty good chance Atlanta and Arizona will have resurge in the National Hockey League. Arizona's 2nd with their new arena, which will be, whenever they figure things out and all that, which they probably will. They'll have up to, I don't know if it's how many years, maybe 5 years from now, and those teams will be skating in the National Hockey League. So that would give them time to be ready, and possibly the Atlanta team will be as well. So it sounds like Atlanta and Arizona are your next franchise. And then now, at the end of the day, Utah has their chance to host the National Hockey League game. So congratulations. The Utah Jazz owner will also be the Utah Yeti, which I'll call them for now. We'll see if it's probably going to be something completely different, but hopefully not anything stupid, or they'll keep the Coyotes name. But I think let the Coyotes be Arizona with the new franchise. Maybe they needed a restart anyway, as the Winnipeg Jets team will be moving again. The original Winnipeg Jets. And then Atlanta will have a 3rd incarnation, possibly as well. So, very interesting. So, 2nd time for Arizona, 3rd for Atlanta. I think you got the point. Let's keep going now. The matchups, thank you for Bleacher Report putting these together and such. Eastern Conference, New York Rangers versus the Washington Capitals. I think the Rangers win in 5 games over the Capitals, maybe even a sweep, but I'll say 5. The President's Trophy Rangers. Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is going to be tough because as good as Florida is, Tampa is a championship team. They won multiple cups. They went to the finals 3 times before running, the 3rd time running into Colorado, which it was just flat out their year, which maybe that's the Stars right now. Who knows? Maybe that's the Rangers right now, but I don't know. Spoiler alert, I don't think the Rangers win the Cup. I just don't. As good as they are, and they might, but I doubt it. I think Florida survives in 6. That's my current belief. Boston and Toronto, I'll believe it when I see it. Boston in 5. I'll believe it when I see it, Toronto. And they're not even the favorites in the series. Carolina versus the Islanders, I think the Hurricanes in 5. Unfortunately. And I am projecting the Dallas Stars to play the LA Kings. I think the Kings will be the 8th seed, and I think the Vegas Golden Knights will be like the 6th seed, basically the 6th seed, the 3rd place team in the Pacific, which is really what that is, the 3rd place team in the Pacific. Dallas Stars beat the Kings in a sweep. Dallas Stars will sweep the Kings. They don't look good right now, and I think the Stars kill them. Canucks and Predators. That's going to be a good one. 6 or 7 here. Could be an upset. But Vancouver's really good, and I hope they win just for their own sake. Boy, oh boy, the next series looks frickin' tough. But Vancouver will... Yeah, there's got to be an upset somewhere, doesn't there? I mean, Florida over Tampa is almost an upset, you know, even though it's really not. Tampa's just a wild card team, and Florida's a team that I might have going all the way here. I just might. Yeah, the East, I don't have any upsets. I think they all the favorites win. Stars should win comfortably. I mean, in hockey, there are upsets. Obviously, we all know that. You know, there might be a really crazy one coming up. We'll see. Don't be surprised if there is. We'll see. Nashville and Vancouver. Vancouver in 7. That one's 6 or 7. 7. It's going to take a while. Winnipeg and Colorado. That one's going to probably go 7. 6 or 7. The Avalanche win in 7. The Avalanche beat the Jets. Great series. Great series. The number 1 series probably in the entire postseason. But the Avalanche take the Jets. So there's your kind of upset. Golden Knights and Oilers. Classic. Even though the Knights aren't really classic, but they kind of are already because they've won a cup already and they've been in the playoffs most of the time. It's unofficial. It might end up being the Kings. I think the Oilers win comfortably over, you know, in the Gretzky series, the Kings and Oilers. It's funny how they played each other quite a bit when Gretzky had played with had moved on to the Kings. They did, and the Oilers often beat the Kings in those series, which was funny. Kind of, it figured, right? It's like, screw you, dang it. Golden Knights. If this is the matchup, the Golden Knights win the series. So all this Edmonton and Stanley Cup talk, including myself for a minute there, Golden Knights prove to be golden and win that one in 6. Golden Knights take them in 6. They get a 3-2 lead and win in Vegas in Game 6. Golden Knights advance to play the Vancouver Canucks in Le Second Round. So, let's look at the standings to get comfortable with this. Florida will beat Tampa, like I said, and then they'll get Boston in the next round. Florida will defeat the Boston Bruins in 6. Florida will beat the Bruins in 6 games, despite the fact they were close in the division, but Florida, I think they're awesome. Rangers versus the Carolina Hurricanes. I think the Hurricanes beat the Rangers. I think the Hurricanes beat the Rangers in 7 games. Great series. I think the Hurricanes put off a big upset here, and you get a Southeast Stanley Cup final, Florida versus Carolina in the Eastern Conference. Eastern Conference is going to sound like this. It's not going to be like this. Hey kid, get over here. Shoot, you know, or Boston and New York, you know, Boston, you know, and then they shoot the puck, you know, and then New York, hey, get over here, you stupid kid, you know. It would be a cool final. That would be a cool conference final, but I think it's going to have a Southern accent instead of a East Coast accent. Boston and New York, a little bit. New York and Boston, you know, obviously it's different accents slightly, but there's a general East Coasty. Yeah, you get the point. I'm getting weird. Well, you get a Southern accent with the Dallas Stars, and then a Canadian accent with Winnipeg or Vancouver or anything like that. But Vegas, I don't even know what the accent is there. It's all over the place. You might, a lot of Latinos, a lot of whites, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of whatever. You know, like maybe some Arizona type people. California. There's probably a lot of Californians there, actually. Dude. So I don't think the dudes in Los Angeles are going to go anywhere. Nashville got beat by Vancouver in my prediction. Vegas would be playing Vancouver in round 2. Dallas would be playing Colorado. God, epic. Absolutely epic. The winner of that series just might win the Stanley Cup this year. I do think the winner of that series goes to the final, though. Yep. I think the Stars outlast the Colorado Avalanche in one of the best series of all time in 7 games. I think they beat the Avalanche by, whatever, the narrowest of margins. Unbelievable series. Dallas Stars and Colorado Avalanche. If that's like a 5-game series, it'll be like, what the hell happened? But it might be just one team barely inching past the other multiple times, and they're just more clutch. But yeah, Edmonton's going to choke again. And Vegas will be in the second round versus the Canucks. Canucks and Vegas. Vegas goes to the West Final. Vegas goes to the West Final again. They'll be beat by the Stars in 5. Though it'll be like, man. Yep, they're going to be beat by 5 by the Dallas Stars. Yep. They'll make a nice run, but they'll get it handed to them. The Stars will beat them pretty bad. Unfortunately, Dallas and, well, I didn't predict the other side yet. Carolina and Florida. I originally had Carolina winning the Stanley Cup this year. No. Florida wins in 6. Florida wins in 5. No, they win in 6. It might even go 7, but I'll say 6, I guess. Florida and Dallas Stars in the Stanley Cup Final. What a great series. An absolutely amazing series. You could go either way with this one, but you're going to have it's going to be a very warm climate. Very warm climate during the very warm time of year, just like last year with Vegas and Florida. Now it's going to be the Stars versus the Florida Panthers. Two teams that have struggled in the Cup Finals. The last, Florida's number one, of course, running into the Avalanche years ago, and then running into Vegas last year and getting injured and all that. Or their miracle run just hit a skid, like major skid, like when the North Stars, after the North Stars won Game 3, it was just over. After Game 4, when Game 4, Pittsburgh came in and went nuts on the North Stars. It was so depressing. I think the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup. Florida Panthers are going to win the Cup. I think they're the best team in the league, believe it or not. I think it's time for the Florida Panthers to win the Cup. But yeah, it's two coaches that have never won a Cup that have been there multiple times. You feel bad for either one of them losing, honestly. The Stars absolutely can win the Stanley Cup, and I don't know. I mean, I may even change my prediction during the course, but this will count as my original prediction going in. So if, say, Dallas beats Florida and they actually get to the final and Dallas beats them, then yeah, I'm wrong. But I mean, I might have like updated predictions as we go. But again, this counts as, so like I'm just going to be fair and honest. This is my original prediction. Florida wins the Cup in 7 games versus the Dallas Stars. They go to 7th game. It's a back and forth, crazy battle. You never know who's going to win until Florida finally pulls it off. Like something like I don't know. Like I have a feeling they just kind of have that they just come out ready to play, despite the fact it'll be in Dallas, Texas. And the Florida Panthers win like something like 5-2 or something in Game 7. You know how Game 7s go, where the road team just kind of comes out and they're just better right away and they get the job done. Just like St. Louis did to the Boston Bruins years ago. It'll be something like that. Great, great, great series. But the Florida Panthers are your Stanley Cup champions for 2024. Florida Panthers finally end the heartbreak, the frustrations and such. Obviously, they had so many terrible seasons, but then they'd have that miracle. They had that miracle year really early and ran into a freaking freight train. I don't think Dallas. Dallas could be a freight train. Colorado could be a freight train again. Maybe it's a rematch with those two teams. But whoever it is, I think Florida is a Stanley Cup champion for 2024. That is my prediction. But Dallas absolutely is a Stanley Cup final type of a team. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that all turns out. But it's going to be a great, great, great postseason. If it isn't, I'll be very surprised. But this is really lining up to be one hell of a postseason. With that, we're going to take a quick break and get to fan interaction right after this. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, segment number 3, fan interaction segment, conversation now on Twitter or X or whatever, at Brave the Wild, at Brave the Wild. I was saying this during the Vegas game. Call me an ass, but I feel the shine on Declan Christom has worn off. Him and Merrill were putrid, and you could see the fury on John Hines' face. Sure looked like it. Von Lunster says, Von Lunster, nice to meet you, says he'll be fine with a consistent line mate next year and a summer in our system and weight room, but most importantly, working with Faves in the off season. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I was saying it would be nice. We probably have to hang on to him. The AHL guys just aren't there yet, except for Hunt. Derek responded. Yep, Derek Belska responded with, it was pretty sad, although few players beyond the young or fringe guys were really hustling tonight, but I agree that Christom struggled mightily in battles near the crease. Yeah, yep, it was a damn mess, all right. Sheesh, is there a new message? No, that was me, okay. Yep, that was a damn mess. That was after the Vegas game, or during the Vegas game. I was bitching and moaning. Interesting. Okay, I was saying Hines is better than Evason. Might not be great, but I definitely see a difference. I didn't. That's weird how that turned out. But thank you, Derek, for putting the BTWMN. I tried to, and I didn't put the freaking hashtag. Jeez, how did I miss that? That figures. Derek says, I think he might be, this being John Hines, might be more direct in his game post-game comments and believes in value of holding practices beyond that. This team is still what it was all season. Yeah. I mean, I guess I like Hines' approach more. Yeah, but yeah, the team is what it is, yes. Decent against the weaker teams, woefully poor against playoff clubs. Oh, yeah, getting slaughtered, right? Oh, yes. Showing 2 replies. Where's this? Okay, Steve Miller. Okay. He says, at least with Hines, he might draft in the top 12. That's funny. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'll continue. There it is. I was like, I called it. Liam Ohgren scores his first goal versus San Jose Sharks. Wow, 2-point game now. Yes. Yep, I love that. I did call it, didn't I? I had who's the enough scoring against Seattle, but that went with Vegas instead. Derek says, lots of prime scoring chances being given up by both teams. Good to see Ohgren Barry win. Yep, I was saying, absolutely, that was truly awesome, and it looks like my phone did spell check, and I misspelled his name. My bad. Yeah, it left the Och out. Or the Och. It left the H out. The Och. The Och. That's an AVGN type of thing. Like Bimmy and Jimmy and Dragon Ball, Double Dragon 3. Yeah, whoops. Okay, there it goes. Michael Russo, as we intimated last week, Marc Andre Fleury's poker face was bad. 1 year, $2.5 million extension with the Wild for future Hall of Famer. So yes, like the French. Why is this? Why? Yeah. So sorry. Well, yeah, it's 1 more year. So yes, that's what it is. 1 more year for Mr. Marc Andre Fleury. Une année de plus. Une année de plus. Yes, une année de plus. He probably said that too. Okay, Derek Felska of the Crease and Assist podcast, Crease and Assist or Crease Assist podcast. Do check it out, of course. Yep, absolutely love the. Obviously, highly recommended, and we're kind of like, we're basically like friend podcast, you could say, if you know what I mean, covering the Wild and such. Derek continues saying, obviously, we obviously have our own vibes and all that. We have our own shows. But no, great job with Derek. Teresa Ferries and Kalisha Townsell, great show. No Derek last week. It was Teresa and Kalisha. Rolls right off your tongue, right? A sarcastic, humor-filled show for sure. It was good. Continuing, it's a poll. If you are GM Bill Guerin, who would you be trying to move this offseason? I picked Marcus Johansson, mostly just because, open things up for Liam Ohgren. Goudreau, I would love to move him, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, of course I'd like to get him out of here. He finished, he's in second place at the moment. John Merrill third, other 6%. But Marcus Johansson with 36.6 at the moment. I believe it's got a day left and got quite a few votes too. Another one. Yep. At the conclusion of the 2024 season for the Wild, what do you think GM Bill Guerin will say is the main culprit to make the playoffs and all that? I put terrible PK and penalties. That's in dead last at 11.8. That's funny because I have a feeling he was going to bring that up. Didn't he bring that up last year? So first place right now is injuries to 46 and others. Okay, that probably should be. Buyout cap hits. I don't think he's going to mention that. A lot of people, they're picking that second, huh? Record versus playoff teams should be in the conversation. It's ridiculous. With the terrible PK and penalties. I finished last, huh? Anyhow, that's interesting. Okay, so ready for the next Brave of the Wild, so on and so forth. So I love it when all of you comment. I really appreciate it. And always put the hashtag BDWMN. MN Johan says, I'd have to say this is a great deal. No need to rush the wall of St. Paul and can deal the Gus bus when the best deal comes in. Maybe even be able to include one of the aging vets. Yeah, that'd be nice to get some kind of a deal. Somehow, some way. Okay, Morty jumped in first, and then MN Johan responded, looks like. That's how that works. Appreciate the hashtag BDWMN there, MN Johan. That helped, because otherwise I would have missed it. Morty says, why does Billy G hate us? Veteran contracts with no move clause, signing Daisy to another year is bad long term. I don't think it's long term necessarily with Fleury, but yeah, everything else, yes, very annoying and frustrating. Tom Hayen says it's a great deal. If folks think it's not, I don't know what they're talking about. Gus was way too inconsistent this season. Has been this season to be a mentor for the Wall. That'd be Mark. Yeah, Marc Andre Fleury has done it for 20 years. He can mentor Wallstedt, and yes, Gus can be moved. Mm-hmm. Morty says, keep Gus, dump Daisy. Let him do his self-aggrandizing tour somewhere else. Yeah, aggrandizing tour somewhere else. This team will rotate Daisy in at all arenas when in his last game. Absolutely absurd. His final season will be called Look at Me Tour. I can understand, a little bit frustration there. Derek says, I don't think that's what it's all about. I think he recognizes he still has game left. And if he still does, he figures why not play? Well, he still can. For 1 year, this doesn't bother me. Derek says, that's okay. You can be wrong once in a while. Volunster says, sorry, Morty, Derek has a point. Ever since I saw Gus, oh, jeez, I can't believe I bumped that. Gus and his gut in the summer picks, his game shape and erratic response all made sense. He got serious about the money and not about the fitness. He can't be a goalie from 1990. It's a different game. Don't need Wally to follow in the same path. So interesting there. Interesting. Yep. Boy, this was a bit of a back and forth going on and on. So some frustrations there, I'm sure. Not everybody super excited about it, but at the same time, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm not overly surprised. So, Derek Felska, is this the lightning round? Has it begunneth? I believe it has. The lightning round has begunneth for Derek Felska. And now we will jump on board. Minnetonka High School has 4 players listed in the NHL Central Scouting Final Rankings. Number 47, Javon Moore. Number 68, Hagen Burroughs. Number 165, John Stout. And number 196, Alex Linsky. Does any of them pique your interest for the Minnesota Wild to select? Well, the one thing that I'm noticing is they're all above 6 foot, so I like that quite a bit. Alex Linsky's a beast, 6'4", 190. Maybe gets more in the penalty box, that type of thing. Kind of learning on the fly here, if you know what I mean. John Stout, he is a 6'2" defenseman who shoots left. Yep, he looks promising. Unfortunately, any type of numbers you try to pull up on like a hockey database are pretty much like junior numbers and such. But Hagen Burroughs, right winger, I mean, you can never have enough of those, I suppose. From Long Lake, Minnesota, he's 6'2". Certainly the most productive so far in the USHL with 9 goals, 13 assists. But Javon Moore, he's the top ranking one. Didn't play a whole lot in juniors, but played for Minnetonka, and they're way, way high end. A 6'3" left winger. I'd probably lean towards him just for the case of like he's the highest ranking one. Yeah, and the left wingers and such. Defenseman, you can always use a nice big defenseman. I mean, obviously Stout would probably be like my second choice. It's between pretty much Javon Moore and John Stout. And it's a cool name too. What'll he accomplish? Ultimately, I'm not sure. But I like that he was a +4 in just 15 games in the USHL. So that's one thing that intrigues me a little bit. And he stayed out of the box too. Only one penalty, only one. So in 15 games, that's good too. You don't want one of those goons that's just constantly in the box. You can't really defend anybody when you're in the box all the time. So Stout, I think Stout might be my top choice. Otherwise, just for the sake of having the top guy, Javon Moore, obviously way up there at 6'3". The big center thing, it always intrigues me, but I mean, I don't know. It seems like a lot of them haven't done a whole lot so far. It'd be nice to have a big center that's really good, but Strumel's a bigger guy, hasn't done a whole lot, so that kind of scares me. And plus the fact that he was kind of who's that? Linsky. He's a center, 6'4", 190, 34 penalty minutes. That's kind of annoying, and -3, and not all that productive. So I'm probably a little bit leery on that one. So Stout. Yeah, Burroughs is the most productive in the amount of time. Definitely intriguing, but Javon Moore or Stout? Javon Moore or Stout? Right now I'll say John Stout. If I have to pick just one guy, gun to my head, with not that much knowledge on the topic necessarily. Like I know some, by keeping up with high school, particularly in the tournaments and such. John Stout would probably be the guy I'm leaning towards. Let's have a stout defense. I mean, does it not fit perfectly, right? As dorky as that might sound on my part. So, I that's where I'm leaning at the moment. So now we'll try to inch back into the lightning round here. John Stout finally came up with an answer, right? Continuing, if you had to summarize your feelings / emotion at the conclusion of this year's season, what would it be? Not overly surprised, but, irritated with being stuck with the veterans. Being stuck with veterans. Very concerned going forward with, we want openings to happen, and certain openings aren't going to happen when you have guys signed for 3 or 4 more years that are 30-plus, injury-prone, and kind of expensive. So I'm a little bit irritated more than anything else. Encouraged, though, with the fact that I'm hoping and praying that some of these young guys are going to get in. I'm hoping so, that some of the young guys are going to have a chance to do something at the end of the day. It needs to happen. Young guys, obviously, eventually, Lambos, but Hunt especially needs to get in right away. So I'm encouraged and irritated, encouraged with some things and irritated with others. Kind of mixed emotions, obviously, is probably the most simple way to put it. Next, when the season concludes, do you keep watching or do you distance yourself a bit before coming back for the Cup final? I'm going to keep watching. I will keep watching. As you can tell, these matchups are going to be great. I'm going to keep watching. I'm not going to make it religious. I'm not going to watch uber closely. I'm not going to sit and analyze every little thing, but I'm gonna definitely watch. I'm going to keep up with it, yes. Next, what video game, peripheral, controller, etc. would you compare the 2023-2024 Minnesota Wild's penalty kill to? The Atari 5200 controller. There's just only one problem. It doesn't work. What do you need to play a effing game? An effing controller. What happens when the effing controller doesn't work? You're effed. This is the reason the season failed. This! Yeah, that was the nerd talking about the Atari 5200 controller. That's why the Atari 5200 failed. This is the reason. In the name of God, heaven and hell and the universe and all that, let the word be known. This controller is effing horrible. And that's pretty much how I feel about the penalty kill. This is the reason the season failed. This. Yeah, it's way up on the list anyway. Jay Bushy jumps in, and always love to hear from him, says, what are your expectations for Spurge next season? Oh, boy. Spurge next season. A lot of the same. I think he'll be healthier. I think he'll come in healthier. Slightly more promising. Apologize if you can hear a loud vacuum in the background. I do live in an apartment, and it's, maintenance coming to do some vacuuming, and we appreciate that, I'm sure, in the hallways, like once a week or so. Expectations for Spurge next season. I think he'll come in healthier, but I'm a lot of ways expecting he'll just be okay. He's just going to be okay, like a top 4 defenseman. He'll be on the second pairing. Stats around 25 to 30 points, second pairing. I want his role limited. I want Spurgeon's role limited. Please, don't put him on the top pairing. I suppose him with Faber wouldn't kill anybody, but aren't they both right shot defensemen anyway? So, I feel bad for Arizona fans. I keep seeing the replay of it. Sorry, it's distracting. But no, I want Spurs' role limited, though. I do. I want it limited and hoping for the, him to be limited, like maybe some penalty kill. I don't want him on the power play. Penalty kill, maybe, with second unit-ish. Just limit his role. Maybe he'll stay healthier that way. Yeah, he'll stay more healthy. He'll stay healthier. Stay more healthy that way. If he's going to be on the power play, it has to be the second unit, not on the top unit. Not on the dang top unit. I'm done with it. The lightning round continues. Healthier. Ugh. Sorry, I suck. I guess it works. Okay, anyhow, continuing back to Derek. Have you ever wanted to just flip your Wild loyalty into the Sun and pick another team that actually will do the right things in order to win a Stanley Cup instead of one that can't get out of its own way? Yeah, I've definitely thought about it. Definitely thought about teams like the Lightning and such. Yeah. Oh, I've definitely thought about it. Look at the Vikings. The New England. I was a New England Patriots fan the last 20 years or so, and I enjoyed watching the NFL playoffs. Being a Patriots fan, even though I'm a Viking fan, I was a Viking fan. But when they would, bow out, it'd be Patriots all the way, and that was fun. Sometimes it's good to have a team with a rooting interest, like the Vegas Golden Knights. That's probably. Yeah, you might not like me for saying that. That's probably where I would go. Probably the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, you can probably tell, like a long time ago. Yeah, that's because Calgary's was bad as us. I love the Calgary Flames since, 30 years ago. I've loved the Flames for 30 plus years, but they're just like us, like every year it's just like, they blew it again. Nice regular season, but out they go, God, so they're just like us. They're like our twin. They're like our I don't know, like our uncle, our drunk uncle. I don't know. Tony Perkle says, but yeah, so, and it would be Vegas. If you want me to list a team, it's the Vegas Golden Knights, period. Tony Perkle, is this a rhetorical question? Derek says, not sure, shrugs, not sure, but I guess I kind of have been asking myself why I put myself through all of this. I enjoy talking about it, etc. Me too. But I'm kind of just over it with this organization. I understand that. I do. Tony continues, so a bit of a back and forth conversation. Yeah, there have been definitely frustrations there with both of the guys here. Yep, Winnipeg, Dallas looking like cup contenders. Yeah, I don't enjoy that at all. No, I hate it. I'd much rather see Vegas win another cup than say like a Dallas or Winnipeg or something. Maybe Winnipeg, it's okay just for one, to get their one for their fan base and all that, loyal fans. But I don't know. I don't like them very much. Next, it's next and final. Is it tough to get upset about a one-year deal? He still has game left, I think, I think like Mini. What am I saying? I think like Mini, I like the thought of him mentoring Wallstedt, pardon me. If this was just about ego, he wouldn't say this next season will be his last. I think he's been honest about it. I respect it. Yeah, I'm totally fine with Fleury coming back, and I don't think he's trying self-grandizing or self-grandizing. I'll never get the words right today. I'm like crazy. I don't think he is. I don't think it's about anything. He's never really been that kind of person, He's not. He's not arrogant, I mean, there's so many arrogant athletes. Just look at the NBA. I mean, just look at the NBA. Talk about a self-grandizing. I think LeBron James does it a hell of a lot more. But I know he's a top 2 or 3 player of all time. But still, yeah, I think he self-grandizes himself a lot more than Marc Andre Fleury or any other hockey player for the most part. There's D-bags in every sport, but I think hockey probably has the least in terms of guys looking all about look at me. So I'm not all in with that. No, not all in. No. So good thoughts, Derek, and everybody. Thank you. Great discussion, great conversation. You always get a legitimate, sincere hand from me. I really appreciate you. Shout outs, of course. Crease Assist Podcast, like I said before, outstanding. MNW Young Guns, Pavel Bennett out of the Czech Republic. Justin Bakke also, amazing job on MNW Young Guns / MNW Prospects. Amazing. Keeping up with the prospects, always giving us hope for the future. And that's what it's all about, giving us hope for the dang future. The Danila Yurov, forever. It was Kirill Kaprizov. Kirill. Are we ever going to see him? There he is. And, he is really good. Hell yes. Thank God. And Ohgren, hopefully. Wouldn't that be cool? So, continuing. Minnesota Wild Global, Scott Cavendish, David Kostick, Chance Kostick, David Abraham, Kathy Main, Michael Fick, Chad Walski. Great page. Patrick Turner, Minnesota Wild Nation out of Florida. Love you very much. Do a wonderful job. And I'm really wishing all the best for you. Justin Bakke is also a part of the Sound of Ohgren podcast. Yep, do a great job there. So with that said, thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Thank you to all of you who do retweet and all of that, share this show. And those of you that haven't, please do. If you're willing to, please do. 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and other podcast apps like Spotify. Those of you that have, thank you so much. Anybody else could write a review, something like that. I'd really appreciate it. And God bless you in advance. With that said, have yourself a wonderful few weeks here. Well, this show, maybe I can pop in a show a week or so still at random times. Maybe it'll be every 2 weeks, maybe 10 days, but it'll be random. As now we're moving on into the spring season here with spring cleanups and such. Schedule changes a bit, of course, and the Wild are done. So, after tonight anyway. Hoping guys stay healthy and the Wild make the right moves heading into the off-season. As last off-season, I can't say they did all the way from the top to bottom, because they really didn't. at the end of the day. Bill Guerin and Brackett and all them, but the drafting looks promising. Hopefully that continues going forward. Stay healthy, guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful, I don't know, let's just say 7 to 10 days or so, and hopefully come back for some conversation. And obviously as news breaks, maybe something interesting happens, there'll be some, night show or something. I'll release some show in the evening one of these days coming up. With that said, take care, God bless, and we will talk to you soon.